Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing. And if you are here for the first time, may I request you to subscribe, and I assure you, you will not be disappointed. Well, the topic which I have chosen today to speak to you about is National Costume Round. You are aware that when you go for a pageant, there are different rounds, there are different sub-contests where the title winners, subtitle winners are also picked up. Beautiful smile, beautiful hair, Miss Perfect 10, Miss Intelligent, Miss Multimedia, Miss Popular, Miss Congeniality, Miss Dazzling. So there are a lot of sub-contests which are held when you are there with them during the time of your grooming and just before finale. But in certain contests, whether they are national or international, you have a specific round which happens either before or on finale, which is called a National Costume Round. Now this National Costume Round does not mean that you land up with sari or lehenga kurta, because that you will as it is be wearing in ethnic round. There is also an ethnic round. So ethnic round mein what do you wear? You wear something which is the costume of your country. So sari, salwar kurta, chudidar, ghagra choli, shararas, all those are the things which most of the people wear during the ethnic round. But now we are talking about National Costume Round. And it's a very important round, especially in an international contest. And suppose there are 40 countries, 50 countries, every girl will be wearing their national costume. Now, national costume does not mean you wearing a national dress. It means you are depicting something about your culture, about your country, about the values of your country, about the festivals of your country, the specializations about your country. So you can pick up any theme for your National Costume Round. So now in National Costume Round, for example, let's talk about India. So India is known for what? For Ayurveda. India is known for yoga. India is known for its diversity. India is known, maybe in history, there are some very powerful women, like Maharani Lakshmi Bai or Padmavati, and So what you can do is, before you design your National Costume Round, first think, which part of your country do you want to display? Do you want to talk about diversity? Do you want to talk about specialization of your country? Do you want to talk about anything where your country stands out, which is different from others? Like yoga really stands apart. Or you can talk about Ayurveda, or something which is depicting about your country, and people are aware about it. It's not something which is happening internally and it is not worldwide news. Then people will not be able to connect your costume to that. So it is something about your country which makes your country stand out. So pick up a theme, and when I say theme, that means from top to bottom, whatever is there on your body, the costume, the props, is depicting that particular thing. For example, let's say if we talk of a national costume in a national pageant happening in India, and you want to talk about Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, then from top to bottom, you are dressed in something which depicts cleanliness of India. If you are representing your state in a national pageant here, then maybe something specific from your state, maybe from its history. So it's important to go down the memory lane into the history and see what is that special thing which stands out in your country. After you have decided about that, that what message you want to tell the world about your country. When you have decided the theme, then you start looking at the colors. Now, a national costume would look very nice if it is as colorful as it could be. So just think, how can you throw in colors so that when you are on the stage, it really stands out? You know, a little bit of bling, a little bit of color, a little bit of elaborated costume. Maybe your headgear is very elaborated. Maybe on your back something which is very elaborated. Or maybe you carry a prop which is something really more than life size. Okay, so think of how do you add color, how do you add grandiosity to your costume. Once you have decided that, and you have the team from top to toe, and you have now decided the dress, and after the dress also now decide what props you will carry. For example, if you see in a national costume in Miss Universe, some of our contestants, they went as Padmavati. So they were not only dressed like Padmavati, they were carrying a sword in their hand, and they were carrying a singhasan behind their back, you know, like a backpack. And you must have seen that, you know, she puts the chair, the singhasan down, sits on it, and then, you know, talwar se aise karti hai. So she is depicting a story about Padmavati through her costume. Similarly, you can depict a story and enact it out also on stage. You will not get too much of time. Just maybe a minute when you are at the head ramp, you can do something with that costume which can add on to that story of whatever you are trying to portray about your country. So think of a story, and it's always nice to have a story. So you have a costume, you have props, you have grandiosity, and you have a story. So with the story, you have certain actions which you will be doing on the stage. Then you can, you know, maybe not only from the front, you can also add a lot of messages from the back. So the back of your costume, as you turn, your back is facing the people, you can add a lot of messages there also, you know, so people can see a message about whatever you're trying to say, not only from front, but as soon as you turn to go away from the stage, your back also is depicting something. So you're carrying a backpack, or you're carrying a prop on your back which also is depicting a message. So try and make it elaborate, you know, try and make it something which people, you know, their jaw falls flat, so, wow, something they've never seen. So create something like that. And you can go to the internet and you can look at previous national costume rounds. You'll get an idea. I'm just saying only for an idea. I'm not saying try to copy anyone, because most of these ideas people have seen. So how will you stand out? If you really want to win your national costume round, you have to create something which is different. So you can go there, pick up an idea. What have they used? How they have created a story? What is the body language they are using? Are they wearing heels when they're walking? Are they walking in flats? Are they walking bare feet? What exactly are they trying to tell through their costume? So once you get some inspiration, that should really get your adrenaline flowing. Now there are some costume designers in the country where you can approach them, though I must warn you, they cost a bomb, because if you have to have the whole thing from the headgear to the back thing to the costume, it will cost you a fortune. So what's the easiest way out? The easiest way out is to approach any fashion institute in your city. So you approach a fashion institute, you tell them that you're going to represent India at a particular pageant and you want a nice national costume, and let the students take it as an assignment, put their brain to it and come up with something. So when all of them together create as a team something great, you will have something great costume to carry with you. And it is difficult to carry costumes, you know, you might have to carry extra baggage for them. But nothing comes for free. So if you are using a college to create a design for you, what would you give them in return? And you have to be very sincere about what you're going to give them in return. They seek nothing but recognition. So tag them in the costumes, give them credit wherever. When you speak to the media, tell them who designed your costume. So give them due credit. And it's only when people get credit, get appreciated, they step out to help you. After all, creating a costume for you is going to cost them as well. And why would somebody do it for free? So they want nothing. They are not asking you any money, but they will ask you to give credits to certain students, to their college, or whatever they ask you in return, you have to give that in return as a barter. So always remember that. And of course, if you're good yourself in creating a costume, go ahead. If you have resources in and around your family who can create it for you, very good. You can seek help from a local tailor or somebody who can help you. But if you have nothing and you don't have resources, you don't have the budget, then best way out is to approach a fashion school. So I hope this helps you to create a beautiful costume for your upcoming international pageant. All the very best. If you have any questions, do mention them in message box and I'll try my best to answer them to my best of knowledge.